Welcome to my Geography 380 journal entry for January 24th, 2019. This week is on community-based research and placemaking. So the following video will kind of just showcase my thoughts and learnings and understandings and questions from this week. So yeah, I'm trying out this new format. We'll see how it goes, and I'm excited for feedback. So enjoy! One of the main takeaways I had from today's class on community-based research and placemaking was the importance of the community aspect of community mapping. And specifically in Lyndon's article on community mapping, the rediscovery and discovery of our common ground, the methodology section really kind of brought that message home. Methodology section really, really laid it out. Like, I really enjoyed the first methodology was keep the learning atmosphere focused on listening and making connections between people and their local place. And that's like, it's the idea of like the community in relation to the place, and like, you can't, how, like, in geography, place is influenced by people, and people are influenced by how place is laid out and experienced, and those relationships are. So having a space for people to communicate that is really important. Maps tell stories, and making using mapping as a way for communities to tell their stories really helps communities understand each other, people within communities to understand each other, other stakeholders to understand where the community is coming from. That also, after class, I went to Ken's office, and we were looking at Sailor Sea maps, and it's really interesting. We were comparing these two maps, and it was interesting because the one from the previous year showed Coast Salish village, and then the next map erased that, and that really showcases the storytelling maps present. And if we really make sure with community mapping to instill that, like, this is the community's thought in 2019, if you continue that pattern of using maps to tell community stories and tell what community wants in that moment in time, it's really powerful. And I think that's really cool, and I'm excited to gain these tangible skills to hopefully be a facilitator with community mapping. Something else that struck me today in class was one of my peers, one of my classmates, said tools can be used well or poorly. And I think that's really important when we're doing community-based research, to know that it's our usage and our intentionality and how we approach and navigate these situations that really depict the end results. And if we go in with positive intent and really do our best and want to do best by the community that we are engaging with, and don't let our biases depict too much of the answers, and really acknowledge our bias so we don't bring the bias by accident to the table. I know that just really struck me, because I know within that conversation we were also talking about power with the institution, not just and how that influences the community mapping, because it is we are a university class going to map, do community mapping initiatives for a community, and that's something I thought about, but I didn't have the words to describe, and just a really interesting conversation of you really need to think and discuss before you go into these community mapping endeavors. Today in class, Maeve Leiden briefly brought up mapping yourself and kind of mapping the community around you. So kind of a way to do that would be, you're your core, and then you can kind of your immediate support system, broader support system, friends, acquaintances, so on and so forth, and kind of you can showcase the community around you in a map form. And I thought that was really interesting, and it kind of debunks, when I came into university, I kind of thought maps were just like latitude and longitude, but there's so much more. There's so much more mental maps, and I think specifically this mapping yourself is really important to kind of showcase the community you have around you. And I know personally for me, that's something, an exercise I want to take into my life, because I have this community around me, and to be able to see it, that will help me value it. And I think that's, being able to see it in front of you is really powerful. So that's something that I'm taking away more personally, but I can see that being a really positive way when going into community mapping is to first establish who is this community that you are mapping, if it is from a person-to-person basis. But that's something that I would love to explore throughout this semester. Thank you for watching my journal entry. Yeah, this was a lot of me just staring at a camera and talking. My goal with this format is to hopefully evolve it and maybe get other videos, maybe put in some music, and just kind of see how videos can showcase my thoughts throughout Geography 380. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'm excited for feedback. Bye!